We got time for one more question, and I'm going to direct it at one person. Joel, this is for you, since I've been keep peppering you about your film that's about to come out. How are story arcs and plot points in animated movies becoming more complex as the visual aspect evolves?
I'm not sure I'm the only one to answer that, though.
I didn't say the only one. We may be the only one we have time, so that's why I started with you.
I think as approaching the story arc, because we're not limiting ourselves anymore to, we've got to soften this around the edges for kids. In that approach, you start to really delve deeper. And I think that's something that it just feels like the story arc and the plot points. For me, it's more about what's the key relationship in the movie. And instead of looking at it as just an arc, we're humans and we interact with each other and we change according to our interaction with each other. And so I think for Puss in Boots, we found the key interaction with Puss in Boots. And I don't want to give that away, but that relationship, once we found that, allowed us to go deeper in terms of all the emotions that can be felt along the journey. And so I think it's one of those things of, as we keep pushing on the PG rating in a way of like, what does require, what does limit a PG? And I'm just speaking specifically for Puss in Boots, it's that 4-quadrant audience the studios want to justify how much the movies are costing. It's like, let's go too far to where it feels like, okay, you just went a step too deep, which I actually don't know in an emotional arc if you can go too far. But I think it's that mindset that will keep, evolving our storytelling and elevating, and treating the audiences smarter.
As a nerd, I want to hear from Rob on this, because you've done hand-drawn animation, you've done shorts, you've done CG, you've done live action. So across all those different mediums, what have you seen? Just the tools that you use. I know that we use some of the same tools, but there's a complexity to those tools, and how have you handled it?
What, I mean, in terms of story?
Yeah, just like things that you couldn't do, or,
right.
or things that...
how do things become more complex? It seems like, in a way, just like every other kind of media, music is similar, fashion is similar. Things happen, and we are influenced by the world in which we live, and we're influenced by the past, but we're always trying to figure out what's the future. Like, where are we going next? And that is really the exploration that we're all doing. And I think complexity is a kind of a metaphor for finding new areas to explore. So, I think, again, the medium is so versatile, and it really has not been used that broadly to do all the things that have been done in cinema. There are so many incredible cinematic masterpieces in live action that do things, go places that animation has yet to do, which is why it's so exciting. I remember one of the moments that seemed, and this was almost 30 years ago, so remarkable in The Lion King. In the Circle of Life, there's a shot where the ants are walking across a branch, and then there was a rack focus. And we rack focused from the ants to the zebras in the background. And it was interesting because it caused a lot of controversy in the studio, because some people said, well, that's ridiculous. That's not animation. You're trying to emulate a live action film. You're trying to make it look live action. And we were like, yeah, that is what we were trying to do, because the audience is used to seeing that, and how would the audience react to that? And it was surprising how many people watching the film, even people not involved in film, were like, wow, that shot was so amazing, because they'd never seen it done in animation before. And so that's actually the thing. Doing things that have never been done before is what makes the medium exciting.